Shopee is a leading e-commerce platform in Southeast Asia and Taiwan, established in 2015 under C Group, formerly Garena. Headquartered in Singapore, Shopee rapidly expanded across countries such as Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand and beyond. Known for its mobile-first strategy and localized user experience, Shopee became a dominant player in the region's online retail sector. Shopee was selected for this case study due to the significant organizational changes it underwent in the post-pandemic period. After experiencing a surge in growth during COVID-19 lockdowns, the platform faced the challenge of sustaining operation in a post-pandemic economy where consumer behavior shifted, competition increased, and cost efficiency became critical. Notably, Shopee implemented multiple waves of layoff and withdrew from several global markets, indicating major organizational development concerns. This transformation made Shopee a relevant and timely subject for examining change dynamic, resistant feedback processes, and strategy adaptation within the framework of OD. Let us now look at the key organizational development issues that Shopee has faced during the post-pandemic era. The first one is the issue of mass layoff and workforce restructuring. Shopee conducted several rounds of job cuts in 2022, affecting thousands of employees across countries like Indonesia, China, and Singapore. These layoffs were part of a cost-cutting measure as the company aimed to shift from rapid growth to sustainable profitability. While necessary from a business standpoint, this change deeply impacted employee morale, created internal uncertainty, and raised concern about Shopee's long-term strategy. It also challenged the company's ability to maintain engagement, trust, and psychological safety, which is the crucial element in organizational development. The second one is Shopee faced rapid international expansion followed by sudden market exits. In the wake of its pandemic-driven success, Shopee aggressively expanded into several non-core markets including India, France, Mexico, and Spain. The company's goal was to capitalize on the growing global appetite for e-commerce and establish a stronger international footprint beyond Southeast Asia. However, within less than 1 year, Shopee withdrew from many of these markets, including a full exit from India just 5 months after launch. From an OD perspective, this reflects a lack of strategic alignment and readiness. This quick reversal disrupted internal teams, wasted resources, and caused confusion among staff involved in the expansion. It also weakened organizational confidence and raised concern about leadership decision-making. Such instability shows the need for better change planning, communication, and stakeholder engagement, all of which are central to effective organizational development.
To address its organizational challenges such as financial losses, operational efficiency, and damage to employee reputation, Shopee Indonesia implemented a series of strategic and human-focused interventions. These efforts were guided by both internal leadership and external pressures, which function collectively as change agents. Firstly, strategic realignment and downsizing. In response to losses from over-expansion and experimental ventures, Shopee realigned its business model. This included focusing on core operations. Shopee cut back on non-profitable business units and invest in more stable segments like Shopee Express and Logistics. Second, workforce restructuring. Shopee laid off several waves of employees in 2022 and 2023, aiming to optimize operational costs. This layoff occurred in June, September, and November 2022 and March 2023. Secondly, internal change agent and development initiative. Shopee engaged in several organizational development efforts to stabilize morale and improve internal capacity. For example, leadership training through Shopee Academy. This platform was leveraged to develop the remaining employees, enhance leadership readiness, and foster a culture of continuous learning. Next, communication initiative. Though limited, internal memos and team meetings were used to communicate the rationale behind the layoff and reassure employees of the company's future plan. Shopee, a subsidiary of C Group, faced two critical issues during its expansion into India. First is regulatory political pressure, and the other one is resistance from the local market stakeholders. Rather than directly resolving these challenges through organizational development intervention, Shopee chose to withdraw from the Indian market in March 2022, only 5 months after launching. Here is how Shopee overcome this issue. Firstly, strategic withdrawal as the primary solution. Shopee addressed its organizational challenges by opting for a full exit from the Indian market. The official reason cited was global market uncertainties, though the decision was largely driven by, first, rising regulatory hostility, second, allegation that Shopee had ties to Chinese interests leading to scrutiny despite C Group's Singaporean headquarters, and the backlash from Indian retailers and trade associations who viewed Shopee's aggressive discounting strategies as anti-competitive. Secondly, involvement of change agents. There is no publicly available evidence that Shopee deployed formal internal or external change agents such as organizational development consultants, crisis managers, or cultural integration specialists during its India operation. This suggests that the company did not implement a robust organizational development strategy to mitigate resistance or manage into change effectively. However, key corporate decision makers such as senior executives from C Group's leadership team, including co-founder Forrest Lee, play a role in evaluating the strategic risk and likely influence the decision to withdraw. Their action could be seen as a form of top-down leadership-driven change, though not a structured organizational development intervention.
Now, let's move on to part D, effectiveness of actions taken. Based on the issues number 1 involving mass layoff and organizational restructuring, Shopee's change strategy, primarily involving mass layoffs and organizational restructuring, can be considered moderately effective in achieving short-term operational goals. Despite the difficult nature of these changes, the company managed to address some critical challenges through a few key successes. First, there was operational cost optimization. By downsizing, Shopee was able to significantly reduce overhead costs. This helped the company manage losses that had accumulated due to past inefficiencies and broader economic pressures. Second, Shopee demonstrated legal and financial compliance. The layoffs were handled in accordance with the labor laws of the country. Employees received severance package, bonuses, and extended health benefits, helping the company avoid legal complications and maintain a degree of ethical responsibility. Third, Shopee implemented support programs for laid-off employees. These included assistance with resume writing and job referrals. While these steps couldn't fully undo the impact of mass layoffs, they were progressive efforts that helped soften the blow and mitigate reputational damage. Now, do I agree with the interventions used? Yes, I do. From a business perspective, the cost-cutting measures were necessary. Shopee was facing real financial strain and difficult decisions had to be made. I particularly agree with the support programs. the company's compliance with legal requirements, and its ongoing investment in employee development, especially through initiatives like Shopee Academy. However, it's important to note that while the strategy was sound, the execution lacked emotional intelligence and proactive planning. The layoffs were repeated, sudden, and created a sense of insecurity among employees, which could have been handled more transparently and humanly. From a change and organizational development perspective, these efforts highlight the importance of aligning business strategy with people-focused change management. OD emphasizes not only solving structural issues, but also sustaining employee morale and trust through clear communication, empathy, and support systems.
Next, Shopee primary action in response to the issue closure of Shopee operation in several countries was a complete market withdrawal. This strategy effectively halted further financial losses and protected the company from potential regulatory bans. In my opinion, this action taken by the organization is effectiveness because Shopee can contain the risk. By exiting early, Shopee minimized further exposure unpredictable regulatory environments, which significantly hampered its user acquisition and brand strategy. It also avoided potential reputational and financial damage if Shopee itself were to be banned later. Next, capital preservation for Shopee. With global economic instability and Shopee parent company C Limited Liability losing about 75% of its market value in the months leading up to the exit, halting expansion helped preserve financial resources. And yes, the change was successful due to Shopee can manage financial risks. At the time of Shopee exit, its parent company C Limited Liability was under significant financial pressure. The article notes that C market capitalization had plummeted by around 75% from its peak in October 2021. For example, by continuing to operate in India would have further strained the company's financial resources. Shopee had reportedly spent heavily on customer acquisition through free shipping, massive discount, and promotional spending without seeing clear signs of profitability. By exiting the market, Shopee had ongoing marketing expenses and operational costs in the region where returns were uncertain. Furthermore, I agree with the intervention used by Shopee because it was a strategic risk management move that protected the company from potential regulatory action. A preemptive exit helped the company avoid legal entanglements. Next, C Limited Liability had suffered a significant drop in the market capitalization, making it financially unwise to continue pouring resources into an uncertain market with high acquisition costs and intense competition. The decision allowed Shopee to conserve cash, reduce operational overhead, and focus its energy and resources on core markets like Southeast Asia and Latin America, where its performance was stronger. Next, we move to recommendation and potential to improvement. Firstly, Shopee can work redesign. Shopee can try to replicate its Southern Asia model in the countries that are closing operation using aggressive discounting and pricing strategy. This copy and paste approach ignores market sensitive to foreign entrants and local competition. Work redesign can reorganize tasks around more localized approaches such as partnership with logistics firms, region-specific pricing model, or involving local influencers and SME in marketing. By redesigning work to fit the business environment and multiple countries, Shopee can improve operational efficiency and gain better acceptance among local stakeholders.
For the recommendation and future improvement, the Shopee can create a Gen Z attractive work environment, especially after experiencing the mass layoff. The Gen Z values more than just salary. They also look for flexibility, opportunities to grow, and a workplace that feels collaborative and inclusive. It should focus on offering flexible working hours and relaxing office culture, freedom to express ideas, and learning programs like mentoring or leadership training. The office space itself should be welcoming and designed for comfort, by building a work culture that aligns with Gen Z values such as innovation, authenticity, and work-life balance, the companies can rebuild their reputation and attract top young talent, even in the face of past challenges. Next, after conducting mass layoff, Shopee also can implement several support programs to help affected employees transition more smoothly. These programs are part of the company effort to rebuild its reputation and show responsibility. First, the layoff employees receive severance pay, a 1 month salary bonus, and continue access to health insurance benefit until the end of the year. Beyond financial support, Shopee also offer career assistance such as helping former employees create professional and appealing CVs and even recommending them to other companies in need of talent. This action not only help individuals find new opportunities but also reflect positively on Shopee, showing that the company still cares about its people even after difficult situation. This kind of support plays a crucial role in maintaining trust and repairing the company image in the job market. For the conclusion, the Shopee actions in Indonesia and India show how tough business decisions are sometimes necessary to stay afloat, like downsizing and market exit. In Indonesia, the company took important steps to cut costs and support affected employees, showing some responsibility and care. However, its repeated layoff create uncertainty and could be handled with more empathy and better communication. In India, Shopee chose to withdraw rather than manage the challenge, highlighting a reactive rather than proactive approach. For the overall, while the strategies made sense from a business standpoint, the execution lacked the emotional intelligence and long-term planning needed for effective organizational development.